there. My name is Sunny, and if you don't know me, I am a professional ballroom dancer. And I am here today and almost every day to share with you what's going on behind the scenes in Dancing with the Stars this season, as well as what goes on behind the scenes in the real world of ballroom dance from the perspective of a long-term industry insider. So in yesterday's video, I finished up with my synopsis of Mira and Gleb's dance in Dancing with the Stars this week. And I just want to continue on that because I ran out of time, and I finished with the thought that I was just so darn distracted by her plastic surgery, I could hardly pay attention to the dancing. And I felt that this was just a travesty of justice in Hollywood in general, that women are pressured to look like they're 50 years younger than they actually are, especially someone beautiful like Mia. I would just love to see them age gracefully to cultivate realistic expectations in society. And when I'm queen one day, that will be. I just want to assure people, if you don't look like that at 60 years old, you are still welcome and encouraged in the ballroom dance community, and those unrealistic expectations are not part of the ballroom dance culture. And I'm afraid Dancing with the Stars and even Dancing Queens, these reality quote unquote shows, are not accurately reflecting that. Okay, we encourage dancers of all ages, love them. We recognize beauty comes in all shapes, all sizes, all ages. Okay, don't be intimidated by that. Okay, so I want to talk about her dancing now, because I did have a peek at it despite the plastic surgery distraction. I think it's a great sign that when she met Gleb, she mentions that she enjoyed dancing growing up. Certainly, if you enjoy dancing, you're going to, you'll have your heart in it, and you will perform better in the end. You will learn faster. Okay, so if someone hates dancing and they, you know what, still give a dance lesson a try, you might find that you love it. Certainly, I've taught wedding couples like that who end up competing together. But if you do it and, you know, especially even after your first competition, if you find that experience is not rewarding, drop it. Just take lessons, just go to social dances, or don't dance at all. You have one life to live, so do what you should do to enjoy it, okay? As long as it doesn't hurt other people. I noticed Mira in her practices has poor balance. Although balance does naturally dissipate with age, it's certainly something you can gain back just through repetition and dancing. I don't know if the length of this series is going to be long enough for her to show super strong, so I don't see her as a contender for winning, but certainly if she stuck with it, she could become a good dancer. Okay. I like that she recognizes that she's tall, and that could be a bit of a hurdle to overcome. I looked her up online, and she's 5'10", which is quite tall for a lady. That's even a little bit tall for a man. And as mentioned in some previous couples I've reviewed for Dancing with the Stars, making you taller doesn't make you a better dancer. It's actually more difficult in terms of physics to dance well. It's more difficult to achieve complete body lines in a certain period of time. You tend to, the music's over, I gotta bring it back down so it kind of looks broken and ugly, okay? Secondly, you have a higher center of gravity, which means your balance is higher. It's harder to do physically. This is why we do not see female gymnasts who are 6'1". It's not that they don't want to do gymnastics. It's just that, you know, if you want to do something at a really elite level, you will need some talents, and I would consider natural build, you know, as part of talent, God-given gifts, so to speak, that are going to help you be a little bit better. There's a little bit of a misunderstanding that all the tall dancers are good. I was shocked, you know, seeing my own coaches in a house star ball, and I thought, I'm never going to look like that. This woman is 6 feet tall, built like a twig. I'm like a little sapling compared to her, but when I met her in person, she was shorter than me. So there is something to be said that the aesthetic benefit beauty you get from dancing, and that it teaches you to extend your body lines and look taller. In fact, when I very first started open level dancing, meaning novice pre-championship, championship, I ran into a couple in a hotel elevator that said, "Oh, are you Sunny Page?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I am." And I was so excited to be recognized. And the guy said, "Oh, I thought you were taller in real life." And I was like, thank you, I guess. So yeah, we definitely look taller than we are. Being tall is not necessarily an asset, okay? So in the judges' critiques, okay, you know how I feel about Bruno. In fact, my new nickname for him will be Bruno Nothing. His comments are inane, unrelated to the dancing. If they are related to the dancing, they are generally incorrect in terms of proper ballroom technique and what a real judge would judge. He is not a ballroom dancer. I'm going to do another video giving you kind of the bio on these judges because there are definitely haves and have-nots on the panel. And Bruno is one of the have-nots. He has no clue what he's looking at. And as I've shared, in my opinion, he was hired for his flamboyant personality and clothing to bring viewership and interest and scandal, so to speak, to the show to bring in more viewers, okay? It's not because he's competent. So as you know, he's blind, he's on crack. I'm not sure, probably just uneducated. So that's all I have to say about Bruno. I'll get into that later. Overall, her marks were fair, though, by all the judges, although it was an accident on some of the judges' part that they marked her fairly. She ended up in 7th place with her cha-cha. And honestly, I would have had her about 7th, too, overall. Very fair. Okay, next to the floor, we have Mauricio and Emma, and they placed 10th in their jive. And he is some sort of real estate star on TV. In a reality show, okay? I think Emma mentions that Emma being the pro, recently got her real estate license, which is ironic because Mauricio is a real estate agent, so perhaps that's part of why the show paired them together. That's great. And I just wanted to share with you that as a professional dancer, many pros who retire or teachers, maybe they can't get enough lessons, maybe they have an injury, they go into real estate and are successful at it. And in my opinion, this is because they're generally good communicators. Obviously, it has nothing to do with their dance skill, though certainly dance cultivates posture and confidence that will translate well into almost any workplace, okay? The song they picked for them, and for the record, the competitors do not get to pick the song, the show does, was horrible. It was supposedly a jive. It sounded like a cha-cha. I felt terrible for Emma having to choreograph to this thing. And my theory is that record labels or something are paying them to use these specific songs. Overall, the music has improved over the years on this series, but I wish they would just use A, real music instead of a canned version of that tune, and B, if they would use a real jive song, because the jive will look coolest when done to jive music. So that's my 2 cents there. I felt that was an unfair hurdle for them. In all honesty, I found Mauricio to be quite talented. I'm not saying he danced the best, okay? But he doesn't have a natural speed to his movement, but certainly for his age and for not having an athletic per se background, he's very flexible. That goes a long way. His feet were flat, but so were every other competitor's feet in this first episode. So that's not a deal breaker. I thought he had a great sense of natural timing. That's going to go a long way for dancing. Okay, she doesn't need to backlead everything. I love that they did many recognizable figures and not what I call flash and trash, where they just do a bunch of poses that aren't even real jive figures. We see a ton of that in the show just because it's easier to choreograph, but I am a big fan of seeing real ballroom dancing because I am a ballroom dancer, and this is supposedly a ballroom dance competition, okay? In my opinion, this was probably the most underrated of all the couples in terms of the overall marks. The judges had them in 10th place. And at least I wouldn't have had them behind Jamie Lynn Spears and other couples. So I didn't think 10th place was very fair, but I didn't get to see all of their practices. 50 seconds is not a long time to judge, so it is what it is. I think he'll do better. So overall, I did notice a lot of cross promoting with other shows, like reality shows, other shows from the same network, which I have no problem with, but I'm not really keen on the cross-pollination for that show to make more money at the sacrifice of the music, and giving these poor competitors danceable music. I feel this is part of why many pros don't want to be on this program, because we don't want to look stupid like we don't know how to teach. You can only do so much when you're given a cha-cha and asked to do a jive, okay? I do worry with the cross-pollination and these kind of other reality TV show tie-ins and tie-ins from stars on this network's other shows, that they will rig the marks, okay? This is a great concern to me, because they're going to have vested interest in promoting these characters to promote the other shows. And again, I'm a ballroom dancer. I want to see legit, fair ballroom dance competition, so that I do not know if that will happen, but it is a concern, and there have been past allegations of rigged voting. And part of the reason is, I'll share in the next video I post tomorrow, but I don't like it. It's not fair. It's not right. This would not happen in the real world of ballroom dance. So I would love to hear who your favorite competitors are. So please share that with me, and who your least favorite were, and maybe why, even if it's a personal reason. Hey, I don't like this person because they're involved in a lawsuit or whatever, or their facial expressions look funny. I love seeing what your opinions are, because I'm happy to share mine with you. So thanks for joining me today. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you'd like more, subscribe. See you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.